All right, welcome. Today we're going to talk about that incredible journey from having an idea in your head to standing inside a real physical building. We're going to do that by taking a look at the online presence of a company called AKD Construction4base and really break down how they make it all happen. So let's jump right in.
So everything starts right here, doesn't it? You've got this vision. Maybe it's that dream home you've always wanted, or the very first office for your startup, or even a brand new community center. You can picture it perfectly in your mind. It's an exciting feeling for sure.
But here's the thing, turning that picture in your head into a real-life structure, well, that's a whole different ballgame. It involves 1,000 complex steps. You're talking permits, soil tests, materials, safety codes. It can feel totally overwhelming. It's the kind of journey where you really need an expert guide. And that's where a firm like AKD Construction4base comes in. Based on everything we've seen, they position themselves as exactly that, your partner, here to guide you through all the tricky parts of the building process.
Their whole purpose really is to handle the entire journey. It starts with what they call studies, making sure the land is good to go and that the whole idea is actually feasible. Then comes the design phase, where they draw up the detailed blueprints. And finally, realization, which is just a fancy word for, building the thing. They're with you from the very first sketch to the very last brick.
So how do they actually pull it off? Let's dive into the specific services they offer. You can think of these as the essential tools in their toolkit, the things they use to bring your vision to life. Okay, first up is planning. And listen, this isn't just a simple drawing. This is basically the DNA for the entire project. Getting these 2D and 3D plans perfect right at the start is so important because it prevents super expensive mistakes and headaches down the road. This is where you map out every single detail before you spend a dime on actual materials.
Now this next part, this is often the real wow moment for people. 3D elevation takes that flat blueprint and brings it to life as a photorealistic model. You can actually see what it's going to look like. You can see how the sun hits the windows in the afternoon, or what the entrance looks like from the street. It makes the whole thing feel real.
All right, this part is absolutely non-negotiable. Structural design is the hidden science that literally holds everything together. It answers the crucial questions, right? Like, is the foundation strong enough? Are the beams going to hold up the roof in a snowstorm? This is the engineering that makes sure a building isn't just beautiful, but that it's fundamentally safe for years and years to come.
And finally, we head inside. And this is about so much more than just picking out paint colors. This is about the flow of everyday life. How does the kitchen connect to the living room? Is there enough natural light in the workspace? It's all about designing a space that doesn't just look good, but feels right and works perfectly for the people who are actually going to be using it.
So now that we've seen what they do, let's talk a little about the why. What's the core philosophy that drives all of this? Turns out, it's captured perfectly in their company's slogan,
Bâtir l'avenir ensemble. That's French for building the future together. And that one little phrase really says it all, doesn't it? It's not about them just building something for you. It really implies this partnership, this collaboration where you're both working to create something new together.
Okay, so if this whole approach sounds good to you, what's the next step? Let's look at the practical side of things, how you can actually get that conversation started for your own project.
The good news is they offer a whole bunch of different ways to get in touch, so it's pretty easy to connect with them on whatever platform you're most comfortable with.
And as you can see, they make it really easy to connect. For a more formal inquiry, you've got their direct email. If you want to see their finished work and just get a feel for their style, their YouTube and Facebook pages are probably the best bet. And if you want a more direct and formal chat, they're right there on WhatsApp. They've pretty much covered all the bases to make starting that conversation super simple.
And so we'll end on this question, which really echoes their whole philosophy. After seeing the tools they offer and the partnership they promise, it kind of brings the focus right back to you and your own vision. So the question is, what future will you build?